We're on the record in three cases. First case is file number 321534. Second case is file number 327578. Third case is file number 327580. All three cases are child state of Texas versus Christopher Olajuwon Bowser. Mr. Bowser, would you please raise your right hand? Mr. Bowser, do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth to help you God? So you may put your hand down, Mr. Bowser. How you doing, Mr. Bowser? I'm doing fine, Mr. Bowser. You're here on the court's announced docket and you're represented by attorney David Rose. How you doing, Mr. Rose? Mr. Bowser, the information alleges that only about December 2nd of 2018, while you were in Jefferson County, Texas, you committed a Class A misdemeanor offense of evading arrest detention. Mr. Bowser, do you understand what you've been charged with? And to this charge, Mr. Bowser, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest? Now, you're pleading guilty freely and voluntarily, or you're pleading guilty because you're guilty? Mr. Bowser, I have before me what is in marked as case exhibit number 1. Do you recognize this document? On page 2 of this same document, Mr. Bowser, are these your initials? And on page 3 of this document, is this your signature above the word that says defendant? I have another document here. This document is titled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Right of Appeal. Mr. Bowser, you recognize this document? And is this your signature down here on this document? Now, Mr. Bowser, there's one box that's checked here at the top of this document. That box states that this is a plea bargaining case and you have no right of appeal. Do you understand that? You have a discovery certification?
Yes, sir, Your Honor. I know we have two, and it's not been signed. I must go with it.
Okay, you need to, they're not dated either. Mr. Bowser, I have before me what is titled the discovery certification. You recognize this document? And is this your signature above the line that says defendant? Now, prior to signing and initialing these documents, did your attorney go over these documents with you? And did you read and understand everything in these documents? And is everything in these documents true and correct to the best of your knowledge?
Yes, sir.
State, I have before me state's exhibit number 1. State, you like to offer state 1?
Yes, Your Honor.
State's exhibit number 1 will be admitted. Mr. Grove, you have advised and counseled Mr. Bowser. Is there any evidence that he is currently mentally incompetent to stand trial?
None that I'm aware of, Your Honor.
Mr. Bowser, your attorney, Mr. Grove, has advised and counseled you. Are you satisfied with his representation? Has he provided full, effective, and competent legal representation? Mr. Bowser, I will accept your plea of guilty. I will find that you are mentally competent to stand trial. I will also find that your plea of guilty and waivers were freely and voluntarily given. I will also find that there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. State, do we have a plea bargain agreement?
Yes, Your Honor.
What is that agreement?
The state is offering 180 days probated over 18 months, a $750 fine plus court costs plus 60 hours of community service.
on, let me see. It is 80. The plea form says 80 hours of community service.
I'm sorry, Your Honor, that's correct. It is 80 hours.
That's in 321-534. They're different
Yeah,
plea
it's,
agreements, Judge.
okay,
So
I'm looking at 80 in 3-4.
Okay, it's
Okay,
80 and not 60.
yeah, see the difference. Mr. Bowser, the state is offering that you serve 180 days in the Jefferson County Jail. However, you not have to serve any time in jail because you will be placed on probation for 18 months. During the 18-month probationary period, you'll be required to pay a fine of $750 plus court costs. The fine plus court costs comes to a total of $1,102. You will also be required to pay $60 per month for probation fees, $15 each month for a year analysis fee, and you will reimburse the court-appointed attorney's fee of $100, and the total monthly installments that you will have to pay per month is $150. If you be able to pay the $150 each month. Now, you will also be required to perform 80 hours of community service. Now, Ms. Musgrove, your plea form also states that you'll be dismissing cause number 327580. In this case, will also run concurrent with cause number 327578. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
And Mr. Bowser, cause number 327580 will be dismissed. In this case, will run concurrent with cause number 327578. Mr. Bowser, do you understand the state's offer?
Yes, sir.
And do you think that the state's offer in your case is fair and just? And do you accept the state's offer? Mr. Bowser, I'll follow the plea bargain agreement that you have entered into with the state. Now, Mr. Bowser, I have a second case here. The second case is cause number 327578. And in this case, Mr. Bowser, the information alleges that on or about April 4th of 2020, while you were in Jefferson County, Texas, that you committed the Class A misdemeanor offense of possession of a controlled substance. Mr. Bowser, do you understand what you've been charged with?
Yes, sir.
And to this charge, Mr. Bowser, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
Guilty.
Now, you're pleading guilty freely and voluntarily?
Yes,
And are you pleading guilty because you're actually guilty?
yes, sir.
Mr. Bowser, I have before me the misdemeanor plea of manifest. It's marked as State's Exhibit number 1. Do you recognize this document?
Yes.
On page 2 of this same document, Mr. Bowser, are these your initials? And on page 3 of this document, above the line that says defendant, is that your signature? I have another document here. This document is titled the Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Right of Appeal. Do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
And is this your signature at the bottom of this document?
Yes, sir.
There's one box that is checked at the top of this document. That box states that this is a plea bargain case and you have no right of appeal. Do you understand that? I also have before me discovery certification. Mr. Bowser, you recognize this document. And on the second line that says defendant, is that your signature? Prior to signing and initialing these documents, the attorney, Mr. Grove, go over these documents with you.
Yes, sir.
And did you read and understand everything in these documents? And is everything in these documents true and correct to the best of your knowledge? State, I have before me State's Exhibit number 1. State, you like to offer stage one?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Grove, any objections?
No objection, Your Honor.
No objections. State's exhibit number one will be admitted. Mr. Grove, you've advised and counseled Mr. Bowser. Is there any evidence that he is currently mentally incompetent to stand trial?
No, Your Honor.
And Mr. Bowser, the attorney, Mr. Grove, has advised and counseled you. Are you satisfied with the representation?
Yes, sir.
Has he provided full, effective, and competent legal representation? Mr. Bowser, I will accept your plea guilty. I will find that you are mentally competent to stand trial. I will also find that the plea of guilty and waiver is freely and voluntarily given. I will also find that there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. State, do we have a plea bargain agreement?
Yes, Your Honor.
What is that agreement?
The state is offering 180 days probated over 1 year, a $500 fine plus court costs, and 60 hours of community service. And again, this is to run concurrent with 321534.
Okay. And you'll be dismissing clause number 327580.
Yes, Your Honor, that's correct.
Yeah, hold on a minute, let me see. Now, also in this misdemeanor plea of minors, will he be attending drug education class? I'm looking at the plea form.
Yes, Your Honor, for case number 327578.
Okay, now, Mr. Mr. Bowser, the state is offering that you serve 180 days in the Jefferson County Jail. However, you don't have to serve any time in the Jefferson County Jail because you'll be put on probation in this case for 1 year. During the 1 year probationary period, you'll be required to pay a fine of $500 per cost of $452, which comes to a total of $952. You'll also be required to reimburse the crime lab for $100. In addition, you'll be required to pay probation fees of $60 per month and a year analysis fee of $15 per month, and reimburse the court attorney's fee $150 a month. And it comes to a monthly installment of $175 per month. Now, Mr. Bowser, because you'll be on probation for one case, you will not have to pay probation fees on two cases. So this is going to be reduced probably by $60. In addition, you probably pay 1 year analysis fee as well, so that'll be reduced probably by another $15. Now, the probation officer will make that adjustment for you. Now, before that adjustment is made, it states that you were to pay $175 per month. Will you be able to pay that? All right. Now, you will also be required to perform 60 hours of community service and attend the drug education class. In this case, this case will run concurrent with cause number 321534. That was the previous case. And cause number 327580 will be dismissed. Mr. Bowser, do you understand the state's offer? And do you think that the state's offer in your case is fair and just? And do you accept the state's offer?
Yes, sir.
Hey, Mr. Bowser.
Excuse me.
Now, Mr. Bowser, I'll follow the plea bargain agreement that you have entered into with the state. Please stand on the X next to where your attorney is and follow the directions of the court clerk.
Thank you, Judge.
All right, you have a good day.